I just spent $5,610 on frogs. No, not this frog, these frogs. And I'll explain why later. But first, let's recap what I did today. Can I make $100,000 off of flipping NFTs in 1 year? How you guys doing? Today is October 9th, and here are all the plays I did today. So we went for Kami drop today, and honestly this was one of the most disappointing mints I've seen in a while, mainly because not only because the price is now at 1.5 and the mint was 2, but mainly because how the mint actually happened, and I think this also is the cause of why this mint is actually so low. Kami's actually released today, and they had a password to access their site, and they said they were going to release the password at 4 p.m. They ended up releasing the password 5 minutes earlier, and they did it through Twitter, and this just was very random. To say you're gonna release something at 4 and then do it 5 minutes prior to that is actually kind of weird, and a lot of the community didn't like this. I actually ended up missing out on this mint. I did try to go for it, but by the time I got the password, it was already sold out. And not only that, but apparently when I went to the Discord, it had sold out in 30 seconds. It had sold out in exactly 22 seconds, which is actually ridiculous. Not only is it ridiculous to know that this project sold that fast, but it's also ridiculous knowing that they released the password 5 minutes earlier and it sold out that fast. So a lot of people are calling insider minting on this, meaning that the devs minted this through bots, meaning that the devs botted this before anybody else could even get a chance to. I don't know if they did that or not, but it definitely is a little shady. But with that being said, I mean, the art is still pretty dope. And I mean, if you want to get in at 1.5 right now, you can. I personally have noticed every single project that has minted over 1 Solana has failed. Every single project that has been minting over 1 Solana has failed this month. So I'm keeping an eye on this, and honestly it's looking like going for mints isn't even a good decision, as mints tend to just, so what seems to be the trend is every mint on the day of the mint, the price on the secondary market just goes below the mint price. I don't know why people are minting and then selling below the mint price. This is just very strange to me. But this is happening very often. We can even see this in the second drop that happened today for Daring Dragons. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about this project, and I completely forgot about the mint for this, mainly because I was focused on something else. But apparently this mint, it doesn't look crazy. I mean, the trade volume on this is very slow. Granted, Bitcoin is still on a tear right now, so that's why all of the NFTs are currently dropping. Most of the NFT market is actually down quite a bit, especially when it comes to volume. Not necessarily the price itself, but the volume has completely slowed up, and that's going to have and that's definitely going to have a negative impact on the price. We can see Meerkats getting as low as 20 floor today, which was kind of crazy. And so that leads us to my main topic today, cyberfrogs. Cyberfrogs, I have actually just invested a total of $5,455 into this project. I went ahead and purchased a rare today. I purchased a rank 21 today for 17 Solana, and that's about $2,800. And this guy's pretty cool. If you go to the actual profile picture on Solana art, it's the same guy. So I don't know if that's gonna I don't know if that's gonna have an impact on the price. Probably not, but I think it's cool that the one that I own is the same one that's the profile picture for Solana art. So the buyer actually wanted 20 Solana. He didn't get it. I talked him down into 17, and I probably could have talked him down into 15 if I had waited an extra day, but I wanted to actually get it off the market before anyone else got it. And it was a good thing I did that, because there was another frog that was actually ranked 27. It was this one right here, and it sold for 15 like an hour ago. And I think if this guy who bought it would have saw this frog as well, he probably would have sniped it before I got it. So I think this is a good buy. And we went ahead and scooped up some commons as well, and I think I'm going to scoop up more commons. I was conflicted whether or not I should buy commons or buy rares. Here are the commons I scooped up today. I got this guy, this guy. I'm going to show you the spreadsheet. So in order to get this, we had to sell one of my Aurories. I sold it for 35, and I sold it for a $1,100 loss. But I think if I play this correctly, I'm going to not only make this money back, but I'm actually going to make more money than I would have if I just held this Aurory. And on top of that, Aurory was holding quite a lot of capital of mine. I had over 20k in Aurory, so I had to start letting some of that go so I can get into other projects that are going to boom, and then I can move that money back into a Rory later if I want to. So here are the frogs that I got. I got this one for 17, I got this one for 1.25, this one for 1.2, and this one at 1.49. And Solana's current trading price is 165. So that's a total of 32 Solana invested in this project, if you include the ones that I purchased yesterday and the one that I minted. So why did I do this is the question. Also, I failed to mention, while I was negotiating with the buyer, I actually missed this guy right here. This was a rank 9 that was on the market for 14.2. And this guy listed it literally while I was in the middle of my negotiation, and I missed this one. This would have been such a huge buy. A rank 9 for 14.2 would have been absolutely amazing, but because I was distracted by this guy, since I was distracted, I actually missed this one. I think this would have been a huge buy, and I would have had still some more Solana left over to buy more commons, which would have been huge. So the question is, why am I buying this project? Well, if you go over to their Discord and you go to their announcements, I'll pull it up right here. This is what they announced yesterday. So you can ignore most of this. This part is the most important part. So they're allocating 50% of the royalties to buying back the floor until it hits 20. And they're allocating the other 50% of royalties to the community pot, to the community pot wallet. So literally they're giving away 100% of all royalties. And they gave the public address, and they gave the address to each wallet. So if you come here and copy this address and then go to SolScan and then paste it, you can see that this wallet currently has $29 in it. It's going to update eventually, but once it does, you're going to see how much they're earning each day. And when you go over to SolFrogs and then you go to view owners, you can see that the same address is right here. You can see that this is the same exact address, H4Q, and if you go over to the, and if you click on the link, it shows you how much exactly they're holding in the NFTs. So these are all of the NFTs that they're holding, and this is actually incorrect, because if you go over to, and you get to see the exact amount that they're holding 105. On howrare.is, it says that they're holding 95. So they bought 10 today. It looks like they're buying 10 every day at the floor. So the frogs that they're buying at the floor, they plan on airdropping to holders. So that's definitely going to be awesome. I just hope that they do this slowly over time instead of just giving all of the airdropped ones immediately once the floor is over 20, mainly because this is just going to cause the floor to go back down. So we want to maintain a higher floor. So if we go back to announcements, we can copy this address. So this is the community wallet that's going to get distributed to all holders. And right now there's 208 Solana in the community wallet. Once they get, so the wallet was created 2 days ago, and they're in the middle of going through Grape verification. So once Grape verifies all of the, so once they get Grape verification, they can actually start doing their DAO without Grape. So right now there's 208 Solana in this wallet. So this is going to be contributed to the DAO, and the community gets to vote on what to do with this money. So the community is going to decide on whether or not the community is going to decide one of two options. One, the money that gets put into this wallet gets used to buy back even more frogs, or two, the money that gets put into this wallet goes towards the community and the holders. So you'd essentially be receiving passive income off of holding a frog, which would be nice. We've seen a bunch of other successful projects do this as well. The most successful at the moment is Meerkats. They are tanking at the moment, but they have 80k soul volume, and if you would have held one Meerkat, you would have received 3 Solana. I personally have minted 2 Meerkats, so I wasn't too sad about selling them, but at the price that I sold at, and I sold pretty good. I'm not complaining at the price that I sold at, but I'll be receiving 15% on 2 Meerkats for life, so I'm not too bent out of shape out of this. So I would highly recommend you guys to follow me on Twitter. You'll get every single trade that I do live at the second I do it, and any projects that I'm looking into. One thing I want to talk about before, so Rogue Sharks is actually dropping tomorrow. I'm a little concerned about this project, mainly because at the moment NFTs are really dry. It's a lot better to just buy NFTs that It's a lot better to just buy NFTs at the moment and hold them than it is to currently mint them. And especially this one having a 3 to 4 Solana mint price, that's actually kind of insane. That's like a $600 mint price. That's very high for a project. It does have 5,000 available, so I mean the supply is 5k, so maybe this is decent. I really don't know. If I go for one tomorrow, I'm probably only going to, so if I plan to do this mint tomorrow, I'll probably only go for one. But at the same time, I think the secondary market might actually tank, and these might be like 2 to 3 Solana tomorrow. But we'll definitely have to see. The moment are looking very good. They're starting to rebound back up to 2, and I wouldn't be surprised if these go back up to like 7 or 8 in the next 2 weeks. So my plan for these frogs, I plan on buying some commons under. I plan on continuing to buy commons whenever they get super cheap. So if I buy commons, I went ahead and took some of the stats right here on Solana Art and I put them in a spreadsheet. I did this about 4 or 5 hours ago, and what I've noticed is the amount of items that are being listed is less and less. So there was 2,317 that were listed. Now there's currently 239. That's 78 that got taken off of the market, and the owner amount actually went down as well. So that means paper hands are starting to exit out of this, and people who are more happy to hold are taking them off the market. This is why the price is starting to go up so fast. It was literally 1 Solana like 4 hours ago, and now it's 1.85. So this is what I started to do. I have 17 Solana invested into a rare, and then I have 17 Solana invested into a total of 6 commons. So I would need the floor to rise to at least 2.83 in order for me to break even on my overall investment. So what I would need to do, I would need the floor to raise up to exactly 6 Solana. So 6 Solana times 6 of the commons that I currently have is 36 Sol. So I would be profiting 2 Solana on my overall investment, and I get to keep the rare for free. If I wait for the floor to go back to 1.3 on these frogs, and I buy another 10 frogs, so that would put me at a total of 16 commons. All I would have to do is wait for the floor to go to about 6, and now we're at 96 Solana worth of commons. I can go ahead and start selling some of them, and then I can actually hold the rare, and I can hold a handful of commons, and I would be completely risk-free into this project that I already like, and I can use this extra money to go ahead and get me more of another project that I like. So that's my plan. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are making safe plays. Be careful I just want to say one more warning. Be careful with rogue sharks. This is a very high mint. I wouldn't be surprised if the floor goes to 2. So the psychology behind these rogue sharks is because they're 3D renderings similar to degenerate apes. They might be the same price as degenerate apes, but I don't think this is going to be the same, mainly because this is a really bad timing for them to actually come out. Bitcoin is running right now. Whenever Bitcoin runs, NFTs are at a halt, and they tend to die out. NFTs are at a halt, and they tend to bleed out very heavily until Bitcoin starts to calm down. Once Bitcoin calms down, then NFTs start to go back up. So this is why I'm heavily invested into projects that I like Frog, like Cyberfrog. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter. I will be posting every single trade that I make in real time. You'll be the first to know. Any project that I plan on going into, minting, or investing into, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see the exact amount and the exact time that I got in at. So if you want to follow my trades, you can, but keep in mind what I'm doing is extremely risky. So only put your money into things that you have done your own research in and that you feel confident in investing in. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Catch you tomorrow. Best of luck.